Hello, New Earthians. This is Krishna Premadas, and you're watching The Cosmic Mirror. I call this channel The Cosmic Mirror because we are all inherently reflections of each other, and we live in a mirror universe or reality or pocket reality. It doesn't really matter. There's a lot of information about the true story of our history, and it's coming up to the surface for a reason, so we can understand the different aspects and versions of ourselves as we're shifting through billions of dimensions a second in our body. Every higher dimensional being has to follow universal law to a certain extent, but they know how to create loopholes of truth and deceive you with partial truths. And guess what? How many of us humans have done that as well? Unconsciously or consciously. And my naivete is that I trust that everything is going to work out. I trust that whatever I believe is true. And that's right. But the discernment is when you sense in your body, as you build a relationship with your body, this is my experience, to discern things that don't feel right, that doesn't make sense. And a lot of us have been brought up to worship gods, demigods, and to worship all these archetypes and aspects of creation, the ascended masters. And while all these are valid expressions, and you get to choose that, there is this, you're paying taxes to these beings. And spiritual tricksters are the gatekeepers between dimensional rising and going into different aspects of all these dimensions. And a lot of them have helped me, have empowered me, and given me the knowledge that I have now, because at the end of the day, that is part of the lesson and the blessing that we're learning as humanity, and they teach us the hard way. Through experience. My words don't teach. Your life experiences do. They may resonate and validate and allow you to see that you can accept your truths, even though a lot of people in the populace may not have it. So I don't worship or pledge allegiance to any government, to any religion, though I can respect their beliefs. I incorporate many different spiritualities that I resonate with. I pick and choose what serves and leaves the rest because I can. Because your life is a collage of your choices, preferences, observations, and beliefs. And beliefs are just thoughts we repeat. You can repeat new thoughts, and you can also choose to ingest new truths, new information, and new experiences. And if you have stuff that comes up that is repeating from the past, it just means you didn't learn before. And when you learn, you know it, you feel it. It's not even specifically from the actions. So people in my life, and I believe this too, that, if someone's words and actions don't match, well, immediately we have a judgment. The reason we have a judgment is understandable. It's because we don't understand why their words and actions don't match. What many of us fail to realize is the context of what we're observing. We're observing someone through our own biases, our own experiences, our own judgments of them that we haven't spoken, and we haven't seen their whole journey. We don't know the places they've been or walked their walk. So walking your talk as a recovering people pleaser may look different. They may observe that you didn't speak something at the time because you wanted to consider it, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you're a people pleaser. And when you do try to speak your truth and they can't hear you, and you've set up a precedent of what they think that you are, you got to take responsibility for that. So in all my relationships where I have set the precedent of who I'm not and I misrepresented myself because I didn't care what they thought, well, that's on me. Because you should care what they think of you to a certain extent. I mean, I don't care what people think of me, but you should care about how you're portrayed into the world to a certain extent. but not to the people that don't give you the benefit of the doubt. Zero fucks for them. Because if someone doesn't give you the benefit of the doubt and they ask for that in return, that is one-sided, and this is an equal opportunity universe by law of attraction. There are forces, and I respect their methods in the sense of I respect their intelligence. I don't necessarily respect their choices, or do I prefer to participate in those realms? So, hey, it's okay to love, and it's okay to hate, because hate's just love twisted. You're still going to have better vibrational returns from those experiences. It's not okay to pity. It's not okay to sympathize. Because when you do those vibrations, it is inherently telling by the universal law of attraction that you're better than them. So don't feel sorry for anybody. Everybody is where they choose to be, whether they're conscious of it or not. You could give them information. You could give them support. You could give them understanding. You could give them empathy based on your experiences. But don't think you're better. Don't think you're worse. Either or is going to put you in a weakened state energetically and not allow you to focus on what you want and follow your dreams and be supported in the ways that you could be. So yeah, I have no sympathy. I have no pity. I have empathy and compassion. And don't help people out of those places. Help them because you understand. Help them because you are compassionate. No matter what someone's age or gender or seemingly disability, don't talk down to them. You know, that soul chose that body. Those conditions, those limitations, their parents, they're not a victim of circumstance. There's no victims. There's no villains. And you don't have to play the hero. That is the toxic triangle that we're coming out of. That's why in popular culture, the anti-hero is so popular, and why you need to stand up for what you believe in. You should, I recommend, I suggest, because this is the time of the Hyoka empath. The ones who have zero fucks to give because they've been outed to the outskirts of society and to all the taboo places because they're the ones that create balance. They're the ones that have their feet between the light and dark realms and travel through all those places and dimensions. As a shaman, it's hard to see all the different realities and choose to land at the one that you prefer if you fall for the tricks. But just like the devil, just like demons, just like spiritual tricksters, they are the people that light the fire under our ass, that teach us the lessons that once we learn, they have no power over us. They'll enjoy the financial, energetic gain from the experience, like the gurus, like the guides, like the coaches, like all of them. They'll make money off you, and they'll give you truths. But don't subscribe to them unless they are teaching you or sharing with you out of love how to be in your own power. So I'll offer suggestions on this place. This space is my space. You could check it out if it resonates. Don't think that there are rules or specific things that you have to do. Allow them to inspire you to be the person you choose to be. You know, a lot of times in human culture, we're told to compromise. Actually, compromising doesn't put you on the path of your alignment and your personal joy and destiny and your highest excitement. It never will. When you're around the right people, you don't compromise, you consider. And sometimes the considering may look like a compromise, but it's not a big deal because it doesn't throw you off course because you're still self-loving. And guess what? It's not selfish to self-love. It's not selfish to defend yourself and your truths. It's not selfish to speak up. It's not selfish to take time for yourself. It's not selfish to say no. Those are the distortions that allow people to be people pleasers. Nothing selfish, including beings that are only a service to self. The ones that energetically feed off our insecurities. Because eventually you'll learn. And eventually we have. But I recommend you could be service to self and service to others by sharing your truths with the intentions of love. Because even if you walk your talk, you still could be a serial killer. You still could be someone who takes advantage, seemingly, by walking your talk, following the scripts of people's expectations. I dare you, I challenge you to defy people's expectations by being you. You know? Because if you walk your talk on the outside 3D perspective, but the energy ain't right, it's still going to attract things that you don't prefer, and you're going to wonder why. I'm a victim. Why did this happen to me? Well, your energy just was not in the intentional place that it could have been to be the most powerful. And that is being of love to yourself and the reflections that choose and allow to receive it. Anybody that doesn't want to receive it, respect them enough not to give them love. You don't owe them that. They are love. They don't need your outside love. We don't make people happy. We don't make people angry. We don't make people sad. We don't make people do anything. We feel our feelings because of us, because of the way we think and interpret and receive information. Nothing outside of you makes you feel good. It may enhance and express what's good from inside, because we attract what we are, not what we want. And if what you want is what you are, then you will attract anything that you want. You get it? Don't be in wanting. You don't even have to wait. Just do and be. And when you're being, you're not thinking. You're enjoying. You're experiencing. You're responding. You don't have to react to the script and to your own judgments. You can observe them and go, oh, it's understandable. Oh, you can see somebody not treating you right, and you go, it's understandable, through their perception of fear and insecurity. And insecurity is fear. And we cover up these insecurities and fears by saying, well, you know, that's their trauma and insecurity, so I'll change my behavior. Well, guess what? You are just energetically feeding their trauma and insecurity. Fear. There is fear of actual dangers, but insecurity is, this is a beautiful acronym, fear, false evidence appearing real. So if it doesn't feel good and you look like you're the bad guy and things are horrible and everybody's against you, that is false evidence appearing real. So when these fears come up, just don't believe them. If it doesn't feel good, it's not how your inner being is really looking at you or the situation. Follow your highest excitement. Follow what feels good, and that's not always pleasure seeking. Sometimes what feels good is challenging yourself, is growing. And the only way to grow that free will in your brain is by doing things you don't want to do. But if you do them with the intention of love, well, that's going to have amazing results. Our egos get disappointed. Our egos get mad. And it's understandable, because the ego or the human brain is not our guidance. It is our translator of our story. It's the one that makes the linear experience make sense. And it will block out anything that doesn't serve us. And that is okay. It's working properly. Your guidance, well, I like to think of it as the magnetic heart. The heart is a big electromagnet, and it's bigger than the brain. And when in conjunction with the brain, you have guidance. You follow those cues, you follow those omens, you follow those indicators, you follow those feelings. And if you're feeling off, sit with it. Try not to judge. Sit with it and clarity will come. Answers will come. You can ask beings outside of you, ascended masters, angels, all those archetypes. Just don't worship them. Don't pray to them. Don't give them that kind of energy exchange. Let it be mutual. You can exchange energy with them, but don't be a servant to them. Doesn't serve. Because your highest good and your source of power comes within you. Be a servant to yourself. Be a servant to your body. Love the vessel. Understand what you feed it. Understand what you give it and receive and what you allow to receive. And you don't have to receive anything that you don't allow. And allow yourself to know that if you have experience that doesn't feel good, you can still glean something from it. You can still learn something about yourself. So anybody who's ever chosen to be inconsiderate to me has shown me how I've been inconsiderate to others. And I don't even have to forgive them or myself. This is just how this experience works. Just flow with it, grow with it, and you will see that you're living in heaven on earth. But any of us, thunder beings or chosen ones, these are just words. People that have chosen to be initiated into this energetic exchange, they know that they're going to be judged. They know people aren't going to like what they're saying because they're running on a collective scripts and lies that they're not even cool with. And that's why they're shopping and being busy and doing drugs and getting into codependent relationships because they're uncomfortable with participating and enabling in a big collective lie because we know something else is true. So speak your truths is the best thing you could do for the collective and others, because it'll activate many, many people, and it'll trigger many, many people, because a trigger is just an activation with resistance. And I'm irresistible. I take such pleasure doing these videos and sharing them with the collective. But, and this is a big but, I like big butts and I cannot lie. I don't owe anybody anything. The only thing I owe is my avatar, my higher self, my oversoul. I owe myself a good life. I owe myself abundance. I owe myself love and experiences of people that see me and understand me, and it's okay if people don't see me or understand me. They're not for me, I'm not for them. We're not on the same themes, and we're not part of the same soul family group, and that's okay. I could still respect them. And sometimes being respectful may not look a certain way because it's not politically correct and it's not polite. But let's get real. It's honest. I hope you come and see me in the movies, and then you will plainly see the biggest fool that ever hit the big time, and all I gotta do is act naturally.